What happens when you let AI flatten the very thing that makes you worth following in the first place? Because I think that's what's happening to a lot of coaches these days, and I don't think that there's enough people bringing solutions to this specific topic. So to give you an example, I was scrolling through Instagram yesterday and I just noticed I was bored. A lot of the content seemed really samey, a lot of it seemed really polished. There were tips and carousels everywhere, and I was just scrolling past all of it. And I thought to myself, is this what content has really come to? The truth is, AI generated content is flooding our social media at the moment, and audience enthusiasm for AI generated content has dropped significantly over the last few years. So it was at 60% in 2023, and in 2025 it had dropped to 26%. And Instagram's own chief said that authenticity is becoming infinitely reproducible. Real creators are responding by getting more human rather than more polished. And look, I'm not here to tell you whether you should or shouldn't use AI. I use it myself, and I'll tell you exactly how later on. But by the end of this video, you'll understand what AI is actually costing you and what the middle ground actually is. Hi, I'm Taryn. I've been building businesses for over 14 years, as well as being in the online space, and I've helped hundreds of women find their way back to a visibility rhythm that fits their unique energy and their lifestyle as well. And what I've found over and over again is that it's usually the same underlying patterns that hold us back from being more visible and from sharing our work in a bigger way. And I've watched every trend come and go. I've done the decade of posting every day. I've tried polished, educational, consistent at all costs content. And when I talk about what's changing in this industry, I talk about it from being inside it for a long time. And so the women that I work with are usually really heartfelt. They want to come across as authentic, but they're busy. They've got families, they've got other work commitments, they are building a business in part-time hours, and they don't want to be left behind. With the rise of AI, they want to be able to work smarter, not harder. And so when AI came along, they leaned in without realizing what they were actually trading away. And I did the same. And I have a free visible masterclass that goes into this in much more depth. There's the link in the description, and I'll share more later, but let's get into it first. So I want to just give you an example of this. One of my clients, who's a nutritional therapy practitioner and is really good at what she does, was posting consistently every day. She was using AI. She said that something felt a bit off. Like, her posts were really good, they were informative, they were shareable, she was getting likes, she was getting engagement, but she wasn't getting DMs, she wasn't getting people interested in her work, she wasn't getting clients. And she said to me that I know my work is making a real impact, I know my work changes lives, but I can't seem to get that across online. And the content was right, but it wasn't making anyone necessarily feel her. And to be honest, AI isn't actually the problem. The problem is what you lose when you are outsourcing your voice completely. It's the nervous system beneath the words. It's the specific way that you, as a unique human being, see things. It's that lived experience that makes someone feel like, she gets me, she's in my head. And there's a scientific report study that says that AI content is consistently being perceived as generic and even impersonal. And it might be really well written, it might be polished, but what it's doing is it's reducing authenticity, and therefore it's lowering trust, and that reduces conversations and ultimately has fewer conversions. And so I want to be clear that I'm not talking about follower counts here or engagement or likes. I'm talking about the person who almost DM'd you and then she didn't, or the discovery call that never got booked, or the client who went to somebody else because she thought that that person got her more. But the flood of AI content has also created something. It's created a scarcity of real human presence. And you, with your unique nervous system and your lived experiences, are sitting on one of the most valuable assets in the market right now. Okay, let's talk about what resonance actually is, because this is what we really want. We're not chasing performance content or likes and engagement for the sake of it. We want content that is going to move the right people. And resonance isn't just be more authentic or just share more of yourself, because that's instructions without any mechanism, right? Real resonance has three things that line up, and that is having your subconscious on board with being seen. It's having a body that is not holding you back from when you want to hit publish on a post. It's having a message that's clear enough to be received by the right people. But most advice out there is only addressing the third one, the message. And AI can help with that layer, but I use it for structuring, drafting, and refining my work, and it's great, but that's not the issue. The issue is when that message is the only thing that you're bringing to the table, because the words might be right, but you still have a nervous system that's holding you back. You put a post out and you immediately question it, and your audience can feel that energy. So one of my clients, Melissa, was doing everything right on the surface. She was posting, sharing frameworks, showing up, and she still felt like she was in performance mode. And the day that she let go of that pressure was the very same day that she signed her highest paying clients straight after our session. So AI can write a caption about nervous system regulation, but it cannot write from a regulated nervous system. AI can mimic your tone, but it cannot hold your actual presence. Your humanness, that specific way that you think and feel and see things, that is the moat. So I'm not telling you to stop using AI and do everything yourself, because I do believe that there is a middle ground, and honestly, this video is the perfect example of it. I'm no AI expert, but the way that I love to use AI these days is to brain dump all my thinking into AI and get AI to structure it. So the raw material is always mine, the thinking is mine, and AI is just helping me organize it. AI is genuinely useful for structuring an idea that you already have, repurposing something you've already said in your own voice, generating options when you're feeling a bit stuck, and editing for clarity rather than for personality, right? But the raw material should really come from you. That micro moment, the specific thing from a client session this week, or even a thought that you had on a walk that you haven't shared yet. And there's a simple test that you can do, whether you used AI or not, to write a post, to just check if it has your authenticity in it. And you can ask yourself these simple questions. Does this sound like something that I would say? Is there one concrete lived moment in there? Does this create recognition for the right person or just inspiration? So one of my clients, Saskia, who's a leadership coach, said that visibility was her biggest challenge. She's now been posting on LinkedIn consistently and even doing lives, which was something she'd never done before. And the shift wasn't what she posted. It was a structure that made being seen feel steady for her and sustainable, while also clearing what was behind the words. And she said, I stopped waiting for things to change and became the cause of my own success. Karis, another client who's a brand photographer, said that her visibility skyrocketed, but the biggest shift for her was that selling stopped becoming a performance and started becoming more of an exchange of energy. So before we end this video, I just want to take you through 3 self-reflection questions, and I want you to take your time with this, so feel free to pause the video and just see what comes up for you. Question 1 is, when you look at your last 5 posts, did they sound like you at your best or like you were trying to pass a test? Question 2, is there a story, a real specific moment that you've been sitting with but haven't shared because maybe it feels like it's too much or it's not polished enough? Question 3, what would you write this week if you weren't trying to impress anyone and you were just trying to be true? So the thing that feels slightly too honest or too specific or too much is often the piece that is going to create the DMs. If any of this has landed for you, I made something that goes much deeper into this topic. It's my Visible Masterclass and it's completely free. And it's talking about visibility from the lens of your actual wiring through my 5 psychology-backed visibility archetypes. You'll discover why visibility has felt heavier than it should and how to start shifting that. And you'll walk away with one small next step that fits your unique nervous system, not somebody else's blueprint. So you can find the link in the description. It takes 2 minutes to register. And just a reminder that you came here to be seen and felt. So let that be enough. And thank you so much for staying here until the end. Don't forget to hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.